Happy Thick Girl Thursday. We back at it, y'all. Your girl Frankie Robinson checking in. Hey, we made it. We made it. Another week. We made it. So happy that we are here. Let's see. Let me pin that. Cool. Yay! Hey, everybody. Your girl Frankie Robinson. Hey, Reg. Everybody checking in. Your girl is checking in, man. We made it another week. Double impeachment. It's just been crazy. But, dear God, I'm here. I feel like Miss Seeley. And tonight's guest, hey, D'Amica Bennett. And tonight's guest, man, is a powerhouse. She has, Uncle George. She has started 4, let's see. Sorry, you guys. Had to put do not disturb on. Shelly Shell. The Bay is in the building. California, the Bay. She started 4 businesses. Count them, 4 businesses since 2002. And she just joined. And we're about to go.
Miss Dixon. She has made history. Yeah. Beautiful Dawn.
Hi.
Hey girl, how are you? Happy
I'm
Thick
doing
Girl.
great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. You know, was telling him I really am thick and I do belong here. Oops. Oh no, filter. Uh-oh.
It was fine though.
That
Whatever.
was crazy. I didn't mean to do that. Let me have my regular face, no filter face.
Yeah,
100.
you are gorgeous without it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hold on, let me turn it up a little bit. So I was just telling everybody how amazing you are. You are a serial entrepreneur. You've had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 businesses since 2002.
Yes.
Listen, fellas, let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
This is wife material right here. She actually is a wife, but this is wife material. This is beauty. Show them again. Show them again, sis.
Let me put a little sparkling thing on there.
She not only is beauty and body, as you can see from the photos, but she is also brains. Man, Don, I was reading your EPK. You are amazing, girl. Where are you from?
Born and raised Columbus, Ohio, Midwest. You know, we just have that Midwest down to earthness. You know, I get that vibe from you as well. You know, down to earth vibe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I try to be. I mean, I really don't know any other way to be. I don't know. It's just me. But
Ohio girl.
yes, girl, Ohio. And how long? And first, let me ask you this: when did you just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm about to take things in my own hands and become my own boss"? And you've been ahead of the curve because a lot of people now are starting to see the importance of being an entrepreneur, especially in this day and age, and especially our community. But when did the light come on for you? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or um, when did you get that itch, so to speak?
So, I mean, I grew up definitely seeing a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people on their hustle. Like, that's just like in our community in general. So I always had it in me to just go get money on my own and just make money as a kid and as a teen. But when I went to college and then I went to school again for IT. So I went to school for journalism first and marketing.
Yes,
That's what I wanted to be, an MTV VJ. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. But, you know, all these platforms that exist now did not exist back then. You know, you could be like yourself. Like, you have so many platforms to showcase your talents and to do interviews. It was like either get on TV or radio, or you just wasn't going to have a career. And so, and plus it didn't pay that well back then either. And so then I went back to school for IT, information technology, because I wanted to learn about like the web and I wanted to learn about tech in general. I just seen it changing things. I got my first computer and, you know, I was just seeing things change and I wanted to study it. And that's after I went to school for tech, I got a job and I worked for 8 months corporate. And then I realized like, this isn't for me. I could use my my tech skills and really create my own thing. And that's what my partner and I did in 2001.
Wow. Now, what was your first business that you came out the gate with?
Yeah, so it was called The Urban Star. It was a media and event platform. I was young, 21, and back
Wow.
then, which I sound so old saying this, but back then, the only way to know what was going on was to get a flyer in your hand or to read it in the newspaper. But there was no internet events, no social media, no tweeting, texting, no smartphones. None of this existed. That's how, that's crazy to say this right now. But, I created a website where you can go and find out what's going on and post about events and share events and take pictures and post videos. And we posted music. And, eventually we were getting paid and making a lot of money from advertising events. We had 15,000 people on our email list in 2002. And so that business really grew. That business did well. It was one of the first in the country of its kind. But I was young and I didn't know what I was doing exactly. But it gave me a boost of confidence because my very first business was very successful.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Now, the business that I know about, and I know a lot of ladies know about it, was the infamous.
Yes, the Flat Out of Heels. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
When I had thought about this, and I'm sure every woman did for a long time, like, man, we need something to wear on our feet while we're out in these heels, dogs barking, but still be fly and still look cute.
Yes.
And you did it.
For that very reason, because I was out partying, living in Miami. I lived in Atlanta, then moved to Miami and was just kicking it, having a great time. And I did not want to walk barefoot. I was in the highest heels possible. And, at the tables and dancing and doing all of that. And then it's like tonight, my feet hurt. And they didn't hurt at the end of the night. They hurt the whole time.
The whole time.
The entire time. But by the end of the night, it was a wrap. And, getting to the car was a thing. And so I would see women walking barefoot and, even women that commuted. I would travel because in my professional life, I see women in nice suits and sneakers. And I was, there has to be a middle ground here. Like, there has to be something that can solve that problem that we have. And so I thought of Flat Out of Heels. And people will be like, well, I've seen those before, but the difference is that flat outs are durable. You can wear them everywhere. Like, the soles are hard. So you can walk down the street. You don't have to worry about getting your feet hurt. And then they're machine washable. So that was the main difference, so that you could actually wash them and put them in the dryer and use them over and over again when you go out or when you're, on the go.
And the bottoms were red, by the way,
Yes.
ladies. You had to have your red bottoms.
Exactly.
And you decided to sell the company.
No, I still own it. I still own it.
You do?
Yes, I sold one company. I sold my restaurant. So I sold my shares in the restaurant that I started this year in 2020. But Flat Out of Heels is going on its 10-year anniversary. It'll be in April. I have a CEO. I hired another CEO. So I'm no longer the CEO of Flat Out.
Gotcha.
Because I started Popcom. But when Flat Out, the real inspiration for Flat Out for me was to put the shoes in vending machines. So when women needed to buy a pair, their feet hurt, they could get some shoes in a vending machine. And so it was not as easy. It's easier said than done, right? Doing something like that. And so that led me to starting Popcom, which Popcom is a company that builds software for vending machines and kiosks to make them smarter and give them that e-commerce experience in physical retail. So that's why I stepped down as CEO of Flat Out to then work on another business. But I still am the owner of them both.
Oh, amazing. So what's coming or what's on the horizon for vending machines? Like, we're used to the old school vending machines that, you can go get a candy bar and a bag of chips.
Exactly. And I was thinking to myself, like, why can't you get anything else in a vending machine when you need it? I mean, yeah, you need a snack, you're thirsty, but there's so many other things that we need where we're on the go. And this is especially like before Amazon.
I want to put something in vending machines.
Yes, you can. Like, think
We're
about
going to talk about it.
Out.
Yes, I got a good idea.
Like, man, I wish I had this. Or you're traveling or in the airport. So what I did was say, I want to sell my products in vending machines and be able to collect information from the customer email address, send them a receipt, make product suggestions, everything that happens online. But then I realized I'm not the only one that wanted to do that. Like yourself, you're like, I got some ideas, I can sell something, and it's way better than opening up a whole store. Think about how many ideas times you'll be like, I want to start selling XYZ, but it may be seasonal, it may be a fad, but you want to sell it. You could use a vending machine to turn around products without starting a whole new website every time or a whole new store. And this is what it's for, is to really empower entrepreneurs like yourself and like me to sell our products in a more flexible way.
Wow. So as far as our community, the Black community, what advice, or just anybody that's starting out, men, women, young, old, people who say, I've always wanted to do this, but did not know exactly how to do it or what to do to become my own boss and to be an entrepreneur. What advice do you have for someone like myself who just decided, hey, I want to own a laundromat, or I want to own vending machines, and I want to have my vending machines, and this is my idea too, so nobody steal it, but I want to put marijuana in vending machines because it's legal, in the state of Illinois, and there are a lot of legal.
We have that, so come to us. Yes, the cannabis vending, CBD, cannabis. You got to look on our site. We have that, so you can be one of the first. Come, you have to have a license, but yes, you can definitely do it.
It's all like popcorn. Let's do it. So
I mean,
y'all
that's empowering, right? There's no limit to what you can do, and that's that's what I love. And so you were asking me what my advice is, and my advice is just first of all, number one thing is, what would you do if money was an issue? What are you the most passionate about? Like, that's how you figure out like really what you love to do. And then when it comes down to starting a business, what skills do you have that you're the best at? I always say, like, a fool is a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. You have to master something to be the best at it. You can be good at a whole bunch of things, but
wait, you got to say that again.
Okay.
You got to run that back. You got to say that one more time. So say it for the people in the back that didn't hear it.
A fool is a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. Because if you can do a whole bunch of things good, nobody's going to pay you premium price to do it the best. You can get paid, millions to be the best at something, and then you get a little bit of money to be good at a whole bunch of things. But you're always going to get beat out by whoever is the best. And it does take time. I mean, not to get too deep into the book by Malcolm Gladwell, it talks about putting in 10,000 hours into your craft, which is about 3 years. You can be a master in that time. And so if you're patient, you can master more and more skills. So if you want to be in business, like, what have you mastered? What are you the master of? And nothing is wrong. Like, there's no wrong answer. Like, if you're like, I'm the master of twerking, I'm the master of cooking, like that girl Nasty Nas, she's rich off of twerking, merchandise, and fitness videos. So it's like every skill that you have is valuable and transferable. So just what can you do really well, and what values can you bring to that, and then how can you monetize that? What is the audience for that? How many people want or are buying or into what you have to offer? And if it makes sense, and only if it makes financial sense, should you go into it. And that's how I judge everything that I do, is like, is there a market for this? What do I bring to it that no one else can bring to it? And how much money can I make? And that's what got me into software, because I studied, I was already like doing very well financially, very comfortable, but I wasn't a millionaire liquid. And I'm like, how do people get like a lot of money, like millionaires? Okay, I'm not a ball player, I can't sing, okay, I'm not about, all these things. But like, the most scalable business on the planet basically is software, because it's unlimited reach. And so I was like, what kind of software business can I start? What am I passionate about? What can I do? And then that led me to starting Popcom. And then I got to be a real millionaire.
Wow. So when you saw that first M, what emotions did you experience, or did you feel when you looked at that bank account and saw that first M and was like,
It was like, wow, this is a great accomplishment. That is how I felt. Like, I won't even downplay it. I'm like, I took a screenshot and sent it to my mom. Like, look at this.
look at your baby, Mama. Look what I done did.
But don't tell nobody though. Just keep it between me and you.
Because they get right on the phone.
Right, because literally, my cousins be talking to me like, let me borrow $100,000. Like, that's how they be talking to me, being funny. Don't tell them I got an actual bill.
Right. Family members that you ain't never met in your life.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Popping up.
Exactly.
Period.
But you know what? The way I really felt was like, oh, because I always heard that the first million is the hardest. And it's true, because after you get that first momentum, like, it just flows. It flows because you're like, people feel more comfortable, like you're credible, you feel more confident, you have more liquid to do things, or even more, equity to leverage, because you don't have to be a millionaire. It's like really about net worth, right? So like net worth, like they say on, what's your net worth? Like, they might have went on people's head, because it's like, how much are you actually worth when you talk about your property and investments and everything else? It may not be cash liquid, but it's, you're worth millions, right? And I want
Thanks,
to build my net worth.
by the way.
I want to build my net worth because I've seen a statistic that said the average Black woman or something had a $5 net worth. I was like, oh, hell no, y'all not about to play us like that. And I just had to go out and break that stereotype.
Wow. So if someone wanted to start, her name is Dixon. I'm people on Facebook are down here and they're listening to you. They're gonna have to go on the YouTube, or they're gonna have to go to Spotify to the podcast to actually hear it all or see it all. But they wanted to know, who was your name? And somebody by the name of Victoria Blake asked that question, and she said, I love this. Can't wait to touch my first M. It's coming, girl. It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. You ever thought about writing a book, Don?
It's so realistic. What did you say?
You ever thought about writing a book?
I am. I'm in the process of writing a book right now. Right now.
Yeah, because you are dropping some gems.
Oh, thank you.
And speaking of which, how much money would you say if somebody did decide to go in there into the, software or doing something along the lines of starting their own company? What do you suggest that they have?
So it's not really about money, right? Like, I teach a class about this because the steps are really like, you have to figure out what you want to build. So before you even know how much money you should have, you need to know exactly what you want to build. Some software is pretty easy to build and get out quickly, like apps or, even like platforms. But me, I built something that's very difficult, and it took me 3 years. And so where it might cost someone else, let's say $100,000 to get all the development done and get your MVP, which is a minimum viable product, like the first version of your product out, the ground floor version, and then it gets better. But the MVP is like, just throw it out there, maybe $100,000. But for me, it cost me like $1 million, because it just was so much development, so much iteration. I didn't know a lot. I learned so much as I went. So it's important to understand, like, when you want to start something, what all you have to put up front. And I did not know that. Like, I definitely was in over my head for a really long time because I didn't understand all that was going into what my idea was. And it worked out, but many times it almost did not work out. Many times I almost failed because I ran out of money, or I didn't, my product wasn't working, or something happened, because in the beginning, I just didn't fully understand how much money it was going to take to get it to market and all the process. So it's very difficult. I have a hardware, but just a pure software play can be much, much lower. So, I recommend that entrepreneurs put their own money up to just get the first stuff going, to demonstrate and show investors that you actually have something thought out. But I think you could start a business with shit. There's a show, Undercover Billionaire right now. My friend Monique's on. She got $100 about to turn into $1 million business. So don't let anybody stop you from going after your dreams. That's all I gotta say. Money does not define your success or being able to do something. One more example is that for my company, we've raised about $4 million. And that's over since 2017. Another company, led by white men, they have a similar type of business than mine, and they raised like $45 million. Within 3 years, they failed and they were out of business. Me, with my $4 million, we still going and we growing. $45 million they ran out and they're out of business. So once again, it's all about like you and yourself as the founder.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is where the money resides. Where the money resides. Where the money resides.
Within you. We
Yeah.
all got $1 million ideas. We all have $1 million talents. Every single person has the opportunity. That's the beauty of the resources we have available to us today. Like I'll
And you,
just tell my age. Like I'm 42. I was reading encyclopedias to get information.
oh, you don't look like it by any
Yes,
means.
I was reading encyclopedias to get information. There wasn't a Google. I didn't have access to information at my fingertips.
I would have
So,
never guessed that.
oh, thanks. I just
You
had a
look like a
birthday.
baby. Yeah, you don't look nothing like 22. You go, girl.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It's like,
But
let me get in a
I'm
little
just
closer and
saying.
let you see this mug. Yes, honey.
Thanks.
Um, do you find it more difficult as a woman and as a Black woman, reaching the heights
Oh
that
my
you
God,
have?
I'm pushing the filter by accident. Go ahead. Say it
No,
again. As a Black woman.
yeah, and as a Black woman, do you find it more difficult? You just made an example of a company led by a white guy who had what 10 times damn near the amount of what you had made for your company and came out and made all that money and then tanked.
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and I honestly, this is my real answer. It's like, no, I don't feel like it's more difficult because I see it as an opportunity all the time. So now, later in my career, I've been in for 20 years now, but in the beginning, there was never anyone that looked like me in the room. Like never. And I took it as an opportunity to be a representation of Black women, all of us, to get more of us in the room. So I said, there's two things that can happen with me being the Black woman here. They're going to definitely see me because I'm going to stand out. So now it's my opportunity to be seen. Everybody else, y'all look alike. So you're not going to stand out. You got to go out your way. You're going to automatically look at me like, what's this girl
Right.
doing here? I always got some kind of different hair, some braids. So like, I'm definitely not clean cut, tatted all. My arms is tatted. You're going to definitely see. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to demonstrate to you that clearly I belong here. Black women are amazing. And then next time you think about Black women, you'll think about an excellent experience that you had with me. And then it's going to grow. Now I go into rooms and there's a whole bunch of us, or there's more. It's not just me. It's not just me. I'm not the token, and so now it's changing. And so I don't think it's hard. I think it gave us the opportunity to really open doors for other women, not, I just never took it as a negative thing. I never let the statistics make me feel less than.
Yes, yes, I love it. So, what else is on the agenda? Like, I got a feeling that you just
Just
getting
turn my
started.
light on. Okay, this is better. Okay.
Girl, listen,
Um,
I had off my light the whole time and I was like,
I
something
like
is
it when you
off.
had off because now I'm really shiny, but I want to match your brightness. So
Yeah,
maybe we're
I
gonna
was
do
like,
this
something
together.
is off, something is not right. And then I'm
It
like, the
shows
light is off. And
everything.
then I turn it on and I'm looking yellow. Certified, thank you.
That's what they
But
said. We look yellow. That's what he said. And so listen,
they
listen.
talking
I'm gonna do
about
all
me.
of this. Here go. I turned down some clicks and now I made less yellow. But I don't know. Anyways, you
No,
said what's
it was
next?
me they was talking about because I had the yellow light on and I
I
didn't even realize that I had the yellow
said,
light on. I was like, oh yeah, looking like I got a little jaundice going on.
oh no, you look amazing.
So,
But you
okay.
said, so what's next for me? What's next is
Yes.
that obviously I'm raising money now for Pop Pom, working to close the round. I was the first Black woman, first woman, not even Black woman, the first female founder to raise $1 million through equity crowdfunding. So I'm raising this money to, grow my business. I'm an investor now. I've invested in 12 companies as an angel investor, which made me, that was always my goal. Like I'm really at this time in life, just really accomplishing a lot of goals that I set many years ago that are coming to fruition. And so I hope that this inspires people. Like, even if you have a goal that seems outrageous and crazy, if you stick to it, it will happen. You never know how fast, but like it happens right on time every time. And so, that's what I'm doing. It's just like I'm fulfilling everything that I set out to do. So I'm investing in other companies. I'm, really, really giving back. What I'm the most proud of is like my ability to give back to my family and my community and
Yeah.
just change people's lives. Like the power of money is to be able to change people's lives in a positive way.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
what I use my money for. Obviously my life is nice, but like how could I be doing the things that I do, and then like my mother or my family members or my friends are struggling, or my, you know, someone I know needs an investment in their business, and I have the money in the bank and I don't help them. You know, that's what I'm the most excited about. So what's next for me is just really continuing to empower everybody around me. Like every single person I come in contact with, I want to help their lives in a better way. Like that's what I feel is my mission right now.
Wow. And you definitely, according to the comments that I'm getting on Facebook and on Instagram, you are definitely doing that. Yeah, man. I think a lot of people think it's not attainable, you know, or that the dream is so far off, you know, oh, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to do that. And you didn't come born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You worked, you got it. And
yes, but it was not easy. And I want everyone to understand, like, there's no
right.
magic wand. There's no easy path. Everything is hard. It's just like, what is hard? Everything is hard, but what are you what is hard enough for you? Like, what's worth working for you? Everything's hard. Working for somebody else is hard. Working for yourself is hard. You know, everything's hard in life. That's how it's set up. But it's worth it when you're working hard towards something that you love, or something that's rewarding or fulfilling. And it goes back to your first question of like, what would you tell people? Do what is rewarding and fulfilling in your life. And don't be driven by money. Like, I didn't become a millionaire wanting, like, saying, I want to be a millionaire, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make money. Because there's a lot of ways to get money. Lots.
Oh, yeah.
So many. But it's like,
Oh,
find
yeah.
what you're passionate about and get money doing that. And then it'll just flow, because you're like in your zone, or as they say, you know, in flow state. So that's what I tell people. So what's next for me is like, just keep staying in my flow. You know, that's the main thing.
And so you mentioned earlier that as married now, you showed us the blingy bling, and you and your partner, you and your husband,
Yes.
you guys are in business together. You guys made history on NASDAQ. Am I right?
We did. Yes.
Dope.
We did. Thank you.
You guys were both on there at the same time, right?
It was a separate time, but we were the first married couple to go through this program and to be on the NASDAQ Times Square board. That was amazing. That was definitely life goals for me and my husband. My husband is Nigeria, and came here for school, and to, you know, have his face on the NASDAQ. That's just so significant, especially for an immigrant. It's so significant in a lot of ways. And then me, the Black woman, so it was just really special.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was. But I was telling you before that, you know, I was single for many years. Like, I just got married March of 2020, and I was single all along. Thank you. I never was engaged, never married, and you know, I didn't know if I ever would be, because I have this career. And so it's not like you have to choose as a woman, but like, because you can't have both. I have both now, but I also focused on my career, so driven. But it was great to find that person who really was equally yoked. Like that thing you hear in church, like equally yoked. As a young person, you're like, what, you know? But
no, that's real.
It's the realest thing ever, actually.
Yeah.
It's the realest thing ever. Yes. And I read.
Yeah, to have somebody who has the same level of ambition that you have, and the same drive, and you know, the same passion, that's not easy.
Yes, and then gives you the freedom to be yourself still. I mean, of course, it's not without challenges. I mean, we're human beings, right? We're not perfect at all. But like what I read in a book, Think and Grow Rich, was that the most important decision you make in your career as an entrepreneur is who you marry. I mean, that is the most, because think about it. Your spouse can shut your life down if they want to. They can make it easy or hard. They can make it easy or hard.
Oh, yeah. And if they don't believe in your dream,
right.
That's huge.
So you know, it was a blessing. But you know, like I said, we met on Instagram, so you can meet. We met in the DM. He was in my DM when I was raising money in 2019. Yes, 2019. He was in my DMs. Like, I raised money on Instagram. So
wait. He slid in your DMs in 2019, and y'all got married in 2020?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's hope.
There's hope for us all, actually. I give me hope.
There's hope. Look, Mom,
For a
here's
song.
hope.
And women, because I ignored him. He was in my DM in January 2019. I didn't answer till October, really. Like, he hit me up like, oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Then he hit me up like, oh, can you send me information? And I'm like, here you go. Like, I wasn't really paying attention. And then I just had time one day. And he said something to me in response to something I posted, find a woman that doesn't need to be taken care of and then take care of her. And then he answered.
Man, Don, you got some drool. Wait,
Yeah.
run that back.
Yeah.
Find the woman. Say it again.
Find a woman that doesn't need to be taken care of and then take care of her. Okay?
That part.
That part. So I felt that really deeply. So then
Damn, sis, I felt it too. I really did.
Because I don't need to be taken care of, but I want to be taken care of.
Oh my
want to be taken care of 100%. I want to be
me too.
like a lady. I want to be courted. I want to be
Me too.
All of that.
And they don't do that much these days. So you found the gem.
They do. They're out there. I'm telling you, they're out there. You may need to look in another country. You know, my husband's Nigerian. I'm just saying, the world is big. There's billions of people.
I dated a Nigerian once, and he was indeed everything that you just said.
Yeah. That's
and then he moved out of state, and it was just like, that's it.
The culture, I will say. So when he slid in my DM and was like, he said, he said mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, financially is a given. I said, okay, who is this? Who is this guy? Because again, I'm very financially secure, but I still want to be taken care of financially too.
Right? Why not? And it doesn't make you. That's what I was just having this conversation with. I have a lot of male friends, and we were just having this conversation, me and a very close friend of mine. And I was like, I'm financially stable, but I think for women, if we are looking for someone that's financially stable, we are automatically labeled as a gold digger. Oh, she looking for a bag, and not even realizing I might have 6 figures in my account. I might have 5 figures in my account.
Absolutely. Listen, when that song by Kanye West came out, Gold Digger, my mom was like, this is you. This was so long ago. She said, this is you. I'm self-aware. I'm not a gold digger, but I ain't with no broke, period. Like, why?
That part. No, yeah.
Because broke is a mindset. Broke is not your bank account, because you can have low funds. But if you have a wealthy and abundance mindset, that account will refill.
Come on,
I would never call myself broke. Even when I had negative $100 in my bank account, I wasn't broke. I was wealthy with ideas, wealthy with ambition, wealthy with love. So the money comes after that. So broke, I can't even vibrate on a frequency of broke. So it's so much deeper than like, oh, he don't got no money. It's not the money, because the money will come. I didn't have money for years. I was a struggling entrepreneur. I was a struggling, car repossessed, living with family entrepreneur, bad credit entrepreneur. Now I'm in all the opposite of that. So I wasn't broke though. So it's like a mentality. That's how I see it.
Wow. And you guys work together. You don't ever want to be like,
yes. What? My husband is an alpha male. Like, yes. And I'm an alpha female.
Don, listen to me. Listen to me, Don. Listen to me. You are not doing it correctly. Listen to me. Listen to what I tell you.
My friend, what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, shouts out to Nigeria in the building. But yeah, man, I'm so glad you came on here. This is what we needed for the new year. We're going to skip the Thick Girl Thursday questions tonight, y'all, because I want this to sink in. I want everything that she just gave you. I don't want you to be distracted by nothing else, because Don is fine as hell. So I definitely don't want you guys to be distracted by nothing else. I want all of that she just gave you, all those jewels that you just dropped. I want that to marinate. We can do ass anytime and talk naughty and do all of that.
And y'all heard me say I have a Nigerian husband, and it just would not work in my household if I was talking about Thick Girl Thursday. But
Don, what are
believe
you
me, thick
talking
girls,
about?
I'm
You're
with
talking
y'all.
about sexual positions. What
Yes.
is it?
What is this talk about sex? What is this talk about your favorites? What is this
What?
talk?
Eh?
Uh-uh.
I can hear it.
Uh-uh.
So we don't want to step in the way of that. And we wanted, like I said, seriously, I just wanted this to resonate with everybody. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. She said, thank you, Queens, for this knowledge. We receive it. And that's what it was all about tonight. It was all about giving back. I'm definitely posting it. It's going to be on my YouTube. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to Thick Girl Thursday, Frankie Robinson's YouTube. Yeah, I wanted this to marinate because financially, they are predicting that us as a people will be pretty much worthless within a certain amount of years. And I think we need great examples of financial success, of entrepreneurial, being an entrepreneur, being a woman in the business, being African American in the business. We needed all of this, and I'm gonna be bringing a lot more to you guys this year. Food. We need food for the soul. We need food for the mind, and Dawn was exactly what we needed.
Thank you.
Girl, thank you.
Thank you. And everyone, I just wish everyone have an amazing year. And, you know, just.
You got real low. Something happened.
Something happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
You hear me? I hear you good.
You do? Maybe everybody else does. Can you guys hear?
I hear you well. I hear you good. But I did hear that something went down.
It might just be my phone. Maybe somebody tried to call me. I don't know. Sometimes it can be a little weird. But I can't hear you. Somebody said Dawn is food. Indeed, she is. Thank you so much. I got a chance to catch you on the Breakfast Club. Like, amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. We need more examples for little black and brown girls like you to see that it can be done, and to remain a lady, and to remain someone that is familiar. You know, like the cool cousin or the girl next door or the best friend from college, or you just Dawn, and you just, you know, 100% sweet and open and all of that. So we definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on here, dropping these gems. Make sure you guys check her out. Tell them where they can find you at, Dawn, and tell them, sell yourself. Talk about your businesses. Tell everybody how they can get everything. Go.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much. So what I really want you guys to do is check out my crowdfunding campaign. I'm raising money for my company, Popcom. The minimum investment is $250. And it's www, of course, startengine.com/popcom. So that's my technology company and my software company. Then if you want to just check out, you know, what I got going on, of course, follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn. I post a lot of business gems on Twitter and LinkedIn. I have a blog. If you're interested in learning about crowdfunding and business and product market fit, I have published so much information for free. I'm always giving out like just lots of gems for you guys. If you're into books, I have on my Instagram highlight all kinds of great books to help me to get to where I am today, and just use me as a resource. I really am, you know, I'm one of us, you know, and that's I love how this brings us closer through this today. So thank you for having me and giving me an opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Anytime you're in Chicago, call me. Let's link up, do lunch. But I'm going to call you because
please, I
need that vending machine. We need to talk. I need
some bread. Chicago is one of our target markets for our Popcom local program. We're looking for brands in 10 major cities. So, you know, if you want to do one in Chicago, you definitely have an amazing following and support base. You would be a great person to be an owner operator. And I'm dead serious.
Oh, man, I'm on it. Say less. I'm on your heels.
You would be perfect. So let's definitely talk about that right after this. We can just exchange, you know, so you can talk to my team. And anyone else on here listening, we're looking for retailers that want to be in the pop shop. So reach out to us. We're going to put, you know, our thing is now to put retailers on a bigger platform who are smaller businesses and want to get out there in their local market. So, yep.
Thank you so much again. Good luck with everything. We'll be in touch. You got to come back on again and drop some more jewels and tell us where you at and where you going and what you got up next.
Oh,
Chicago, make sure you check out the YouTube channel, Thick Girl Thursday. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Make sure you check out her information. We have just turned Thick Girl Thursdays as of last week into a podcast. We are now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also Apple Music. So make sure you check us out. Again, next week, man, 7 o'clock, we got a very special guest. I'm going to keep it a surprise. You can find out on Monday. And then thank you to Chicago Chick for my shirt that she made me. Support Black businesses, you guys. Be safe. Next week is going to be crazy. Keep God first. Thank you all so much for always supporting me and tuning in. Shouts out to Pretty Ashley on the makeup. And shouts out to my girl, Tatiana Means, for my hair. Love you guys. Love you all. God bless you. Be safe. And Amir, thank you, Amir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love y'all. Oh, and Spifster on the nail. Stars and stripes, because our country is in turmoil. But as you can see, the stars and the stripes ain't together. Oh, she got us some more information. www.startengine.com/popcom. Check her out. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Why do I always have a hard time turning this thing off? There we go. Bye. Love you.